I'm going to do one that goes over the top of my head. So I'm going to get your wire, get a piece of wire and measure it down just below the ears, I think. So I'm going to use ribbon to tighten it.
Like a Alice band?
Yes. Yeah, good one, like an Alice band.
Yeah.
And then just a little bit extra because I'm going to create a loop to put the ribbon through. So, and I think sort of 4 pieces. This is really fine gauge wire. It's just what I could get hold of. So add a little bit for your loop and then 4 loops of it and then cut it off. And then I've started wrapping it with this florist tape. It sort of feels a little bit tacky, but when you stretch it, it has lots of glue in between the crate. It looks like crepe paper really, and you turn, the best way to do it is to turn the thing you're wrapping, not the tape, and as you pull it tight it glues and then it holds it, and it just means that it's a much nicer and sort of safer, cleaner finish, but also the flowers have got something with a bit of friction to hold against so they don't slip. And you get this in all sorts of colours. Like for you, if you're dark brown hair, I'd use this. And I like this one just because it looks like flower stems, but you can also get pinks and blues, all sorts of different colours. So anyway, so I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom, and just to tidy this up, just going to cut the end off. Right, and then I'm going to go all the way to cover it up and tidy it up, and then I'm going to make your loop. So quite small, you want it to be discreet, and then wrap that now. And then do that nice and tight. So I'm stretching it as I go round, so that means you get really good adhesive. So that's nice and neat. The idea is that you don't see any of this, so it doesn't necessarily need to be that neat. So this is going to be a really quick flower crown, so I'm going to show you how to do it the quickest way. If you're going to use sort of things like rosebuds and finer flowers, you'd wire up the flowers individually and tie them on, but I'm using flowers that I know that will last as long as possible out of the water, like things like these cornflowers, and I don't need to wire them, they've got quite a strong stem. So this is the quickest way, and essentially I'm going to line them all up and tape them together onto here. So the first thing you want to do is prepare all your flowers. So you want quite a short stem, but you want enough to be able to hold on to it. And I'm going to just use lots of nice blue ones, and partially opened and nascent.
I don't think I know what nascent means.
It means it's young. It's not fully opened. And you don't really, I mean, that's not a great one to use because is that one coming over? I think that one's going over and it's sort of opened up like that one, but now it's closing off, and I think that's not going to last very long. You can feel it's a lot softer. So you want to use younger blooms. And then I'm going to use this scabious as well, because this lasts really well. It's got a good stem as well. That lasts well out of water. So these are probably, might be a bit long. And then that's a nice one. And then you kind of want to have a sort of bit of a go of designing it, and make sure you've got enough flowers to go all the way along. Does that look nice with the purple?
Yeah, it's very pretty.
Right. I'm going to keep this really simple, and then I'm going to use some of this Alchemilla mollis, this lady's mantle, because it just adds a really nice foil to it. And again, little sprigs. And these, because they're a lot finer and you don't get a lot from it, you could make up little poses of it to group together as you're going along. too long stems on there. I've left some of these a bit too long. Right.
How long are you doing the stems?
Well,
like
I mean,
an
you could
inch.
do it shorter, but the longer you leave, if you leave it like this, like that, and put it out, you're going to get a much bigger crown. If you do it tighter, you're obviously going to need more material. But these are quite big and blousy, so you won't see it. But yeah, about an inch or so. So start off with your first one. If you can do it nice and close to cover over that bit, then you won't see where the ribbon ties on. And then another piece on top. Not necessarily, whatever suits you. You can see laying on top of there. And what the big thing is you want to do is cover up that end, the stem, because it's that bit. That's the bit that's going to dry out where you've cut it. So this floral tape holds the moisture in just for as long as as long as it can. And you can see there, I've covered up the end of that cornflower, and then this scabious and the lady's mantle's under there. So not only is it neat, but it also keeps the moisture in as much as possible.
And where's the hole? The hook? Ah.
Yeah, so now I'm just going to keep going all the way along until I've finished it and covered it all up. And if you lay it on top, then obviously that bit goes on top of your hair, top of your head.
Mm.
And nothing's going to get caught in your hair or stuck. It's not going to be uncomfortable. I'm going to use some of this Lady's Mantle's Outcome of the Mollus to try and disguise where I'm going to wrap the ribbon, which is a bit trickier at this end.
Why is that?
Because if you start that end, you flatten it over. You can lay it over the top there, but I've gone that way, so now I haven't got anything to lay over the back there. I'm going to just wrap them round. Now I'm going to choose a nice. What should we go for? Yellow, white.
Oh yeah.
No, if I sort of go. Yeah, that's fine.
What, you were just measuring the back of your head, sort of
Yeah, just making sure it'll definitely and get a bit of a tie with some tails. It's nice for it to hang down at the back. Right, so I'm just going to put it through that loop and do a little knot. Because the tape's a bit sticky as well, you get really good tension. I've never known it come off. Whereas if you did it straight onto wire, it would slip. Right, just need to cut off that end. Right, okay. So now I've finished it. I've tied on the ends. You can have a little bit of a rearrange because you're on wire. It should fan out nicely around your head. To twist it so all the flowers are going that way. You ready?
Can't wait.
What do you think?
Ta-da!
So there you go, quick cornflower, scabious and lady's mantle flower crown. You gonna make one now?
Definitely.